I don't know why I'm starting this laughing. What is up, you guys? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Keisha. I am doing my GLP-1 updates again for the second time around. So, to catch you up, first of all, what's up? Good evening, good morning, good night to my keepers, my day one. Thank you for tuning in. I have been doing GLP-1 updates for a little over a year now, and it's crazy because if you're new here, I started my journey last year and I lost about 30, a little over 30 pounds on a GLP-1. I was on, started out on Manjaro, then switched to Tirzepatide, then switched to Zepbound, and did it for from April, basically the end of April till October. I took a pause. You can go back and watch some of my other videos. I have a whole year's worth of content to catch you up, but I stopped and took a pause because I felt like I was having like a sensation or like a lump or swelling in my throat, and they do say that that is a sign to stop. So I consulted with my PCP, ended up stopping my journey, and then got tons of blood work done, tons of testing. Just recently got my ultrasound of my thyroid. Everything came back okay, so I decided to start back up again. So that brings us to today. So if you did not see my last video, I did like it was kind of like a vlog style, but it was a vlog and it was also me starting back up on my GLP-1. But if you are used to my sit down updates, then this is more, I'm sure you're more comfortable with this because this is me chatting, catching you up, telling you all the things that have gone on throughout the week during my GLP-1. I don't know if I'll do these weekly. I will do these as often as I have tea and some something to give you guys, but I won't go too long without keeping you updated. And I will be catching you up in my vlog. So make sure that you're tuning into those vlog episodes because I'll be talking GLP-1 throughout like my day because it's a part of my everyday journey now. So this is my first week back on GLP-1. So I'm catching you all up some questions that I've seen and just kind of giving you like the tea and the rundown. So to start us off, I started last Friday. What is the date? Let me actually give you some accuracy. So I started, I started on the 6th. Yeah, I started like a little bit before my birthday. So I started back up on the 6th. And obviously, if you know anything about, if you're also on a GLP-1 journey, you know that you're supposed to do these shots weekly. I didn't take my shot on the 13th because I wanted to kind of just like test and see all over again what it was going to look like with my schedule. So I was like, okay, I think instead of doing Friday injections, I need to do Monday. Monday, I think is just a better day for me because it'll set my tone for the week. I'm getting ready to like go into my work days, which is like my in-office days. So I would love to have as minimal, most minimal amount of food noise possible. And if you have the Shot Pal app, like I showed you guys, it also shows you when your shots are most effective. So they're most effective, obviously, the first few days after taking them, and then it will kind of dissipate after as you get closer to like your 1 week mark. So Mondays for me, and then also with my schedule and with me doing so much for content, going places, going to restaurants, I'm trying to cut back on drinking, like all of these things that are not conducive for my GLP-1 lifestyle, but they're a part of my lifestyle because that's what I do. It's a lot. It's a lot. So Mondays, I just feel like are now the best day. So I'm recording this and I'm actually getting ready to do my second injection now using my Tirzepatide. So if you don't know, I'm on Tirzepatide. I'm obviously starting at the lowest dose, which is 2.5. I get my injections and my GLP-1 from Mochi, well, through Mochi. So Mochi is the telehealth provider that I use. I know that there have been some hiccups, I would say, earlier this year, but not just Mochi. Many telehealth providers were going through a lot of hiccups. So if you were on the fence or thinking about it, I know I have had nothing but a good experience. I know I had someone else just reach out. I think I made a short out of it. And that was one of my last GLP-1 shorts. But she said that she got her order within 6 days. So I think that all of the kinks are worked out, and I'm definitely, like I said, I'm a fan, and I've had nothing but a good experience so far starting back up and using Mochi. So I will drop the code here, and I will also put the info in the description below. You can schedule a telehealth appointment, use my code, you'll get $40 off your first month. It is the most inexpensive option that I've seen out there. So you do pay a monthly membership, and then outside of that, the amount for semaglutide is $99, I believe, and the amount for tirzepatide is $199. I'm pretty sure. But just you follow all the information, all the steps on the website, super easy. Schedule your appointment. You'll consult with a physician. They will, talk about your best options, ask you your health, background, all that kind of stuff. And then if you are a good candidate for GLP-1, then you will be able to get started right away. So you get your GLP-1 package in the mail. It'll come with your vial of, I'm going through all the steps, but it's all in my videos. So go back and watch the past videos. But like I said, I'll put the code right here so that you know what it is, so that you can get your first month membership for $40 less. Okay. So all of that is to say that I started on 2.5 tirzepatide, took my first shot last Friday. I will be taking my next one today, and then I will continue with my ongoing shots on Mondays. But my first week back was pretty good. It felt like a rodeo. Like, not a rodeo, it felt like, what do they call it? Whatever it is when it's just, I don't know, it felt like riding a bike basically. And the first day, I did talk about it in my vlog, so I won't go too much in depth, but I did feel like I had like that dry mouth sensation. I felt like I did have the decreased appetite. I didn't feel like, and I'll be curious to see how this next week or next couple weeks are, still being on 2.5. I didn't feel like I had that huge decrease of food noise that I had when I first started a year ago. When I first started my GLP-1 a year ago, I took it at night. I took my injection at night, and I woke up and it was just like a feeling that I have never had before. Like, I had zero food noise. You ever see like those videos or hear those videos where it's like you're constantly hearing things and it's like talking and chatter and music and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, like whatever it happens and it's just like it just gets quiet. Like, that's how I felt like it was last year. And I don't know if it was because my body was completely newly introduced to it. And this time around, like, I'm not like a newbie on it. I don't know what the case is, but it was something like I had never felt before. It was a great feeling because my mind was just not thinking about food. I wasn't hungry. I had to force myself to eat. So this time around, I didn't feel that to that extreme. Like, I definitely had decreased appetite for sure, but the food noise was kind of still there. So like I said, with my lifestyle, going out to eat, I'm invited to restaurants, I'm invited to these brunches and all these things where food is just a part of my life. So I did find myself eating less, but I did also still have those desires for food too. And I think that that's just something that mentally I have to get myself to, just mentally get out of that like place and space. I did make some healthier choices. Like, I did cook a lot more last week. I have been doing really good with my water, to the point where definitely not where I want to be, but not where I was prior to being back on GLP-1. And speaking of that, this is our water check. So make sure you're drinking your water. You can hear it in how I say water, that I'm from the Philadelphia area, because I say water and not water. But so did really good with water. I'm pretty sure I had an electrolyte water every single day. I drank liquid IV. I actually need to get more. I just ran out. What else happened? So it was a really good first week. Let me pause there and look at my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so let's talk about weight. So I'm sure this is probably what many of you guys wanted to know, how much I lost within my first week or my first 10 days. So one of the videos that I had that went viral was my very first GLP-1 update, which was so impromptu. It was me in the car talking about it, just sharing my genuine experience, and I had lost 10 pounds in the first 10 days. Okay, that's not the case this time around. I wish it was, but this time around, and like I said, I know I did not eat the best because of, like I said, going to restaurants, doing all these things, blah, blah. It was my birthday weekend, like so many different factors. I was drinking. So I'm curious to see what this next week looks like because I do have a pretty normal week coming up. But I started at I think it was 217. Also, another thing too that was a little frustrating is like my scale. I definitely need to get a new scale because I remember the first day or that night before I hopped on the scale like a couple times and it showed me like two completely different weights. But I'm just gonna go with the 217. So I started out at 217 and that was on the Friday of my first injection. And as of yesterday, me getting on the scale, I am only down 3 pounds. So I'm 214, which is not bad because I know some people that I've seen in the comments over the last year, like you're on GLP-1 and they're like, I haven't lost any weight yet. I've only lost a pound or I've only lost, but like, such a minimal amount in a month. And from what I've heard, the normal expected weight loss, I think, is 0.5 to 0.5 pounds to 2.5 a week, I believe. I don't think it's a month. I'm pretty sure that's within a week. But just, be patient with yourself. And like I said, I know I have a lot of work to do as far as what I'm eating, when I'm eating. The last few days I've been doing really good with intermittent fasting because I genuinely just have not been hungry in the mornings. I feel like for me, I've been starting my day eating around like 10:30 or 11, some days 12:30. Like I've been eating later and later as the days have gone on and I've kind of just been rolling with it. But the thing that I've noticed is that when I do start eating, it's almost like the floodgates are open. So it's like I'll eat a late breakfast / early lunch. And then after that, I'll be good until maybe like 3 or 4. And then I might have like a light snack or a really, really small lunch. And then I will eat like a dinner again. So I'm trying to just like decrease even that and making sure that I'm getting in the right amount of protein. I am eating my yogurts. I always eat yogurt all the time, but I eat my yogurt. I need to just look at other protein sources. If I do get like, that kind of need for a quote unquote snack, like making sure that it's something that's very much protein filled. And that's my goal. So went from 214 to 217, lost 3 pounds and getting ready to start my injection again. This will be my week 2. But now, like I said, starting it on my Mondays and we will see where I end coming up. I do want to get more active this week. So I want to make sure I will be walking when I go to work. And if I can even squeeze in the gym a couple times, that would be glorious. It's supposed to finally start feeling like summer because if you are anywhere in the northeastern part of the country, you know that the last couple months really it has just been like just such crappy weather, especially on the weekends. So that's neither here nor there. But all of that is to say, when it's nice out and you automatically kind of want to be outside. So I'm like, okay, I want to have that desire to like go out and take a walk and do this, that, and the third. Something that's funny that I realized a few months ago is, what I have not had in months, like months, is a smoothie from Smoothie King. If you are someone who has been watching my GLP-1 updates for some time, you know that was something that I was getting daily. I was getting my coffee, almond, high protein, almond mocha, whatever it was called. I don't even remember what it was called, but I was getting that on the regular, and I have not had that in months, partly because me not being on GLP-1 and really realizing that thing, even though it is a good amount of protein, I think it was like 30 grams of protein for the drink in the smoothie. That thing was a good amount of calories. So I was like, I'm not just going to be getting that just to get it off GP. Like I'm a coffee drinker, but I will gladly drink my, coffee from home or my Starbucks cup of coffee that's probably under 100 calories over that. So I kind of want to go back to drinking that every now and again, also to just the price and cost and different things like that. But that was one of my favorites. So do recommend that from Smoothie King. And just, I know they have other options of high protein smoothies there too, but that was just one of my favorites. But I will say and advise to be mindful of the calories of whatever you do get. Okay, only other last thing I wanted to kind of share that happened within my week. And again, this probably is a factor of me drinking and different things like that. Like I said, going out on the weekends. It was my birthday. I went to brunches and these different wine garden events and dinners and all that and a third, this and a third. And I don't obviously have to choose to drink, but a lot of it is also for the sake of content and things like that too. And don't overindulge when I drink, but I'm not drinking like just like a glass of champagne. Like it's these sugary drinks and beverages. So I don't think that that really is sitting well with my stomach. So that's also going to be something that I'm very mindful of like, do I want to drink as often as I was prior to being on GLP-1? And even when I was on GLP-1 last time, I think I just have a high tolerance for it. But my stomach, a few of those nights, was not agreeing with me. And it could be the alcohol or it could be the sugar alcohol combination of the two. But I don't know what it is. But that alone is making me be like, let's slow down, let's pause. Like it was just like a very unsettling feeling that I had in my stomach on those nights when I was out like kind of late and had some drinks or whatever. So that was something that I don't really remember experiencing before when I was on a GLP-1. So let me know if that's something that you guys have had or a side effect that you've noticed too. And when I say unsettling, I mean, it was just like I would lay down at night, and maybe it's also too because my digestion is slowing down. So it's like sitting in my stomach longer. It just felt like my stomach was like churning and almost like slight cramping, but just like very unsettled. I do need to get some Pepto or some Tums to keep in the house because I did notice a couple times too that I had some acid reflux a couple times after eating dinner, especially if it was like late. But other than that, those were the main side effects that I had. Still some dry mouth here and there, and I'm sure after today taking my first injection for the week that it will happen again, especially in these first few days when the GLP-1 is fresh in my in my body. But other than that, thankfully, those were the main side effects that I had. Good things that I feel is I do, even though it was only 3 pounds on the scale, I do feel like less inflammation, which is amazing. I don't know if you guys can see any difference in my face. I'll have to go back and compare it to another video that I did maybe like a week or so ago, but I feel like looking in the mirror, I can see like a slight change in my face. I don't feel as bloated. So I always know that those first, I would say like 5 to 10 pounds when you're losing weight, whether it be on GLP-1 or not, it's usually a lot of water weight, a lot of inflammation and all that kind of stuff leaving your body. So I'm very grateful for that because my face, like, even though I like the scale is whatever, like the scale, I do want to see the scale go down. But when I see my face, like looking like chunky and chubby and having a double chin and all that kind of stuff, like that is like very low key depressing to me. But, yeah, so that is where I've been in this last week, and it just feels actually really, really weird recording this video because I'm just like, number one, it's been like some time. It's been over 8 months when I did the calculation since I've done a GLP-1 update, like a formal sit down like this. I'm doing it in a new place and space. I'm in my new house, and it's just so weird. So I'm like, I have to get used to it again. So I will be better in the next one. I will make sure that I take notes throughout the week, because that's something that I try to do is like take notes when I have things or things that I think of or feeling symptoms, so that I make sure that I'm giving you guys all the proper tea and information. But of course, as always, make sure that you are asking and dropping questions and comments and all that kind of stuff in the comment section below, because I know not only just for me, but it has become such a good home and place and space for you guys to get questions and ask questions and get answers for things that are going on in your world if you're on a GLP-1, and continue to follow my journey, not just on GLP-1, but just life and all those kind of things in general. I'll try to do like a home or apartment update because I did get new couches. Clearly, I forgot to have it on face tracking. I'm like, why is it moving? I have my new couches. So these are the pillows that it came with, but I don't think I want to keep them because it's not really my taste. The colors are kind of pretty, but the pattern, I'm like, it's not really my thing. So I'll try to do like a home update and just life update and continue to be vlogging and stuff like that in general, because I love my YouTube community and I appreciate y'all so much. So again, if you're new here, make sure that you like and subscribe and put on the notification bells. I will try to get on some type of regular schedule, at least when it comes to the GLP-1 stuff. In my vlogs, I'll try to continue to at least drop them every week. But I hope that you enjoy this video. Make sure that you like it so that it gets kicked out to all of the amazing people out there in the algorithms and things like that. And make sure you follow me on my other social channels. My name is Keisha, approved on those, where I post very frequently. So if you are just into me and keeping up with me, definitely those are the places to be. And that's it. And that's all, as I always say. So thank you for watching and tuning in. I love you. Love you. Peace out.